Welcome to another episode with the Red Jacket Lawyer for guidance on German law in English. Today we will speak about the GbR, the Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts, the mother of all partnerships in Germany. We touched on this issue in the last video and promised we would get back to it. So here we are. But please, before we get started, like and subscribe if you like and appreciate what we are doing. If you have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate to ask us and we'll do our best to provide a response. But now let's get cracking with the GbR explained. It's Germany's simplest business vehicle and it's probably the most common yet most often misunderstood business vehicle in Germany. People often are members of a GbR without even realizing it or the risks and liability associated with it. So, if you are a foreign entrepreneur, an investor, a consultant or professional doing business in Germany, understanding the GbR can save you from unpleasant surprises and might even help you identifying opportunities. What is a GbR? GbR is an abbreviation for Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts, Company of Civil Law. It's Germany's basic form of partnership, and at its core, it's simply an agreement between at least two persons who decide to pursue a common purpose together. Unlike a corporation, there is generally no need for a notary, no minimal capital requirements and no commercial register filings that need to be done. All you really need to create the partnership is a shake hand. And it can accordingly come into existence almost accidentally. If two people agree to buy and renovate a property together or jointly provide consulting services, they may have already formed the GbR, whether they realize it or not. This simplicity makes the GbR one of the most widely used legal forms in Germany, as I've just stated. It's been going like this for well over 100 years, but in 2024 there was a substantial reform which, as a matter of fact, came into activity on day one of that year. It was effectively the biggest reform of the proposition in more than a century, and it officially recognized what German courts had already accepted for many years, namely that a GbR can have its own legal identity. Today, a GbR can own assets, enter into contracts and participate in legal proceedings in its own name as distinguished to the names of its partners. The reform also created a new concept, the registered GbR, known as the eGbR, eingetragene Gesellschaft bürgerlichen Rechts. A GbR can now voluntarily register in a public register called the Gesellschaftsregister, Company Register. For certain activities, particularly involving real estate, registration has effectively become a practical necessity. Why would anyone use a GbR? The answer is simple: flexibility. Imagine two foreign consultants moving to Germany and wanting to work together. A GmbH would require notarial formation, share capital, annual corporate formalities and additional costs. A GbR can be established quickly through a partnership agreement and allows the partners to organize their affairs largely as they see fit. The same applies to family investment projects, property ownership structures and professional collaborations. Start-up ventures in their early stages and joint ventures between business partners have all been organized as GbRs. For many small and medium-sized activities, the GbR offers a straightforward and inexpensive solution. But there is a major disadvantage. One word: liability. The simplicity of the GbR comes at a price. The partners are generally personally liable for the obligations of the partnership. If the GbR incurs debts, creditors can pursue not only the partnership assets, but also the personal assets of the partners. This means that your house, your savings, or other personal assets may be exposed. For that reason, the GbR is often suitable where there is a high degree of trust between the partners and where the business risks are relatively manageable. As businesses grow, many entrepreneurs eventually migrate to structures such as the GmbH or a GmbH and Co. KG to obtain greater liability protection. So, what foreign business people should know. For international business people, there are 3 key takeaways. First, do not assume that every German business is a corporation. Many successful enterprises begin as partnerships and some remain partnerships for decades. Second, if you enter into cooperation arrangement in Germany, you may inadvertently create a GbR even without formal incorporation. The legal consequences can be significant because your partner may incur liabilities without you being aware of it. Third, always pay close attention to incurred liabilities. Keep a register and keep in touch with your other partners. I hope you liked what we did. Please follow and like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.